These two guys have Minnesota sports flowing in their veins. Mackey and Judd on Score North and ScoreNorth.com.
Okay, he is the most passionate Vikings fan we have known for years and years and years. He has correctly nailed several Vikings draft pick predictions over the years because of his dedication to mock drafting and film studies. And he brings us, when the Vikings win, stud stables, and when they lose, we go the other way with dud stables. Randy Vikes 69 on Twitter. Randy in Cottage Grove is here to recap Week 10. How are you processing a buzzkill loss by the Vikings against the Ravens, Randy?
Not happy about it. What they said in Detroit, what we did is what we turned our season around.
You kind of turned it right back around the other way, maybe, against the Ravens.
It's like did a U-turn and then another U-turn. So, I can't drive a vehicle anymore. But when I used to drive it, we would do what they call a donut, and that's what they did, just a full 360 in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's another thing we call it too, but you can't say that.
Yeah, you were whipping. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's a great term. Can't say it, but great term.
Yeah.
Great term.
People are kind of mad at us because we'll get to the dud stable here, but people were mad that Judd and I didn't follow up with asking you about from a couple weeks ago. You were back on the dating apps, or it was like your buddy was handling your dating app from his phone and sending messages for you. Do you have an update on that front?
Well, he's a Barback. Is he? You call him a buddy. I see him a lot. I'm at his place of work a lot, and he says, he and some of the guys say, "Well, Randy, you gotta get out there. There's a lot of options these days to meeting gals." And he made me an account on it. It's called Hinge, and I was on there. I'm on there, and he had to fudge my age a little bit, but nothing too crazy, and he could put a couple nice kind of dark photos of me. You can't quite tell him what kind of age I am, and then I'll let my personality do the talking.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you meet up in person, though, then you can't just be like lying about what you look like the entire time, right? Even if you do have a great personality.
A lot of younger guys use Old Spice too. It's not just the aftershave. It's not just it goes down. And I know there's some guys in 20s and 30s using Old Spice.
Oh, sure.
I took you for more of a Stetson guy myself.
Timeless.
That can be I got a whole drawer of that kind of crap. If the occasion presents itself, just kind of reach in there, spin the wheel, and throw on a fragrance.
That's right.
Hey, so is there a chance that you are going to at some point get your license back, or is that now just a lost cause? Because I think you've been a non-driver for quite some time, if I recall correctly, Randy.
As far as they know, and I do have 2 vehicles at my residence. Neither of them have a title in my name, but sort of you break up with a gal and she says, "I don't want that car." I said, "Well, you can leave it here, I guess." Well, every now and again I take it out for just a quick errand, but I don't go a lot of places, Jeff. I go to my buddy's house. Sometimes we'll mock there. Sometimes we'll mock in my basement. And I got a kegerator, and then the yagerator, and then the bar.
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
It's good you don't drive a lot. Just to be very clear, Randy.
Well, you can get everything you need online now. So like yagerator springs a leak. Just go up, look at the nozzles and the rubber washers. You can fix anything.
Yeah, I like that Randy lives the simple life myself. Okay, well, we've tap danced around. We've avoided talking about the game now for a few minutes, so I guess we have to get right into this thing here now. Presented, by the way, by Green Mill Pizza. Okay, if you are interested in some of the best, most iconic tavern style pizza anywhere in the Upper Midwest, Green Mill Pizza is now available in grocery stores in the freezer section for you to take home to your family or just for yourself. Maybe you just want to sit there by yourself and wallow in another loss by your favorite football team. Green Mill Restaurant Pizzas and more, including soft breadsticks and sauces available at your local grocer. Learn more at greenmillfoods.com. All right, Randy. Well, the floor is yours here. Curious to see who makes the dud stable after that one on Sunday.
This is a unfortunate development in a season. And by the way, this division is the Packers showed last night. It's balanced, but it's there for the taking, and and then not anymore maybe, because you can't go out there after going into Detroit, where Dan Campbell is as everybody knows, as good as tough customers they come, and go in there and just throttle them, push them around, and then come home and everybody had a piss fest, had a big piss fest, and that we're gonna start with a guy who a lot of people like to pump him up, inflate his tires, and he's normally he can be a stud. He can be the best in the game sometimes. But last week we talked about Justin Jefferson and how where he keeps his jewels.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where they were this week, but they weren't where they should be, and for that he alligator arms, and that he should have had a walk-in touchdown. That throw was on the money, So he was as they say, uncharacterly bad. So Justin Jefferson, you're a dud.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been doing dud stables for I think the entire Kevin O'Connell era. And I can only recall like maybe one or two other times where Randy put Justin in the bin here. So this is a monumental moment.
Take the jewels out and put them around your neck. That's all I gotta say. Next up, a guy who we talked about last week is kind of having a bounce back, pretty kick-ass game, pretty good effort. Kind of looked like he belonged again. Well, this week I don't know what happened. Maybe he got stuck doing diaper duty again, and that's JJ McCartney. JJ, you came out there, and you're throwing everything 175 miles an hour, just staring people down. You want to tell everyone that you got what you got nine, looked more like 3 to me. Looked more like 2.5 or 3. That I don't know where the rest of your dog went, but what I saw was a flimsy little bone. So JJ McCartney, take a look in the mirror. As we said, you're going to be at your best when you realize that being a dad for you at this stage in your career, that's what they call a hobby. Okay, that's a hobby. You're a quarterback. So look in the mirror, remember that. JJ McCartney, you're a dud.
Yeah, quarterback first, father somewhere further down the list. So if you're him, maybe you go out there with the actual number lower than 9, just to symbolize.
I love 2.5. That's a great idea.
Yep.
There were so many. You never see that many false starts almost anyway, but certainly not from a team that's what they call playing at home. That inexcusable, and there's a lot of people like to, after things like that, like to point the finger, to point the blame. Who was it? Was it someone's cadence? Was it the big guys getting a little bit too jumpy? Too much time in the weight room, got that fast twitch muscles going? Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I'll tell you whose job it is to figure it out, and that's Chris Cupper. Chris, I like you. When I saw you were going to be our offensive line coach, Chris, I got snug because you know football, Chris. Okay, but now what happened there? 8 false starts at home. It's inexcusable. And if I see you at a bar, I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. Okay.
Wow.
So Chris Cupper, you're a dud.
Hey, Cupper, come over here.
The Cup man.
I've always liked cups.
Chris Cups, yeah, Cups.
And finally, here's a guy. And by the way, we could have done super duper duds, but a super dud and a super duper dud. This guy's gonna get them both. He's gonna get super dud, and he's gonna get super duper dud, and that's Kevin O'Connell. Kevin, what are you doing? What you ever heard of go on Google and Google jumbo package, okay? Yeah. Go on there.
Oh yeah.
And Google it. Because when you got third and like less than a yard, and you're throwing these weird routes, and JJ falls down and gets picked off, Go on Google and Google jumbo package and see what you get, and then what you'll know is that's how you get that yard. And if you don't get it, then you can do it again on fourth. Okay, but you getting too cute. You try to razzle dazzle. You got the one play where they threw it back to JJ and try to do a little razzle dazzle across the back. Just play football, okay? You got big ass guys. You got big ass guys. They're ready to go. They're jumping. They're champing the bit, and they're getting false starts. They want to push so hard. So get the rock back down there where it belongs, and you let 9 go ahead and sneak it for 1. That's not illegal.
Wow.
You got to put him in a position to succeed. So Kevin O'Connell, till you go online and you Google jumbo package and take a peek, you're a dud.
Oh, wow.
Football.
And there he goes. Gone.
You know what?
Football night. Yes.
You know what? Randy, he really knows football.
He knows it. He certainly knows a jumbo package when he sees one.
He knows what football is. He knows how football is. I bet you he would prefer that the Vikings played outside on grass, just mud.
I think I would too, because it would force them to use jumbo packages more often. No?
Jumbo.
If you move the Vikings outside tomorrow, I think O'Connell might quit.
Man, I am now. I think I'm going to save it for Purple Daily. But now that Dex started the personnel grouping discussions on Monday, Randy just brought up personnel groupings, and we stumbled upon some incredible numbers on SumerSports.com. I feel like this is going to be a great Thursday discussion in a couple days about personnel groupings. But I've dug even deeper here just for fun. Yeah. This is off of Purple Daily conversation, so go listen to the Doogie episode of Purple Daily and the State of the Vikings. Mm-hmm. But you can sort this on this Sumer Sports website, these personnel groupings. You can sort it by like red zone, late downs, so 3rd and 4th down, for example.
Sure.
So let me give you this one here. When the Vikings late downs, which I again assume is 3rd and 4th down, when the Vikings are in those situations, 3rd and 4th down, they lean even heavier into 3 wide receiver sets, which again are the Vikings have one of the worst offenses in the league analytically when they run 3 wide receiver sets this year. It's been a great offense for them in previous years, but they run it 93% of the time in late yardage or late down situations. Mm-hmm. And the EPA is dead last among all 32 teams on 3rd and 4th down when they run 3 wide receiver sets. When they run 2 tight ends or 3 tight ends, which they did once, they're actually ranked 6th in the NFL in EPA. But boy, this is my system, and we are going to run my system, is what this continues to scream.
Is Sumer Sports free, or do you subscribe to it?
I think I'm subscribed, but I think the numbers I'm looking at are free. So if anyone else wants to sleuth around and look at some of this.
That's a lot of information for free. Sumer Sports, shout out.
They also work for teams, and they have more where this came from.
It must not work for the Vikings, because the Vikings would have that information if they did. You know what? The Wolf said we're drawing line at Sumer Sports.
Yeah, like budget
like
cuts.
you get your
the Twins we know ain't paying for that.
The Twins have some poor schlep in the basement trying to crunch those numbers.
Their process is great. They like
That's
their
true,
process.
the process.
My
process is great.
Players look for advice and help, and they say, "Well, your process is great." Okay, well, my results stink. What do I do
tell
here?
Stella and Barney every day, because they complain about food and where's the food and why am I not outside. Right. I said, what you guys are missing is the process. My Sports Dad's process is fantastic.
And you wouldn't understand it. You're just a dog. So
exactly.
Why don't you continue?
And then they say, okay, I'll go crap on the puppy pad then, you moron. And I'm like, that's not part of the process. Let's clean it up.
Do you have an indoor puppy pad for Barney and Stella?
I have puppy pads that we buy online, and I put them down. And it's
are they like allowed to just like kind of go in the house, or would you rather them go outside?
They're not allowed to, but I mean, in some cases I can't really stop them in time, and so I put down the carpet in the hallway is lined with puppy pads, because previously we just had to keep throwing them away because the dogs might just.
Is that a tripping hazard?
Stella's old. Yeah, a little bit, but I mean,
I feel like I would go ass over tea kettle.
Yeah, but
just knowing my.
But I mean,
clumsiness.
until you're like 65 or 70, I'm just counting on the fact I can get up again.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but my process, unbelievable.
Dex, what's your process on Underdog? And does it lead to pretty good results generally?
Yes. Generally, yes. Yes, it does. Sometimes our audience cashes in some bigger wins than Underdog, which is what I want. I want our audience to get some nice extra cash in their pocket. So go to Underdog, sign up with promo code SCORE with the football season here. Hell, basketball is also back. You can do points, rebounds, assists. You can do combined entries across different sports when you sign up with promo code SCORE. When you play your first $5, you get $100 in bonus entries too. So go sign up at Underdog App Store, Google Play Store. Send me those screenshots. Sign up with promo code SCORE.
MSP Plumbing has pretty good process too.
Fantastic process. Fantastic process. And now you're saying, okay, yeah, Sports Dad, you endorse them, but how do you know? And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't just endorse them, but I actually have used them. They have come to my house. They have been let inside after they knock. Wow. And you know what? They have done a fantastic job. MSP does a fantastic job across the board, but of course, it's time to make sure that your HVAC is set for the winter, and so they can do exactly that. They are your local carrier dealer, delivering quality and reliability as well. Don't wait until the bad stuff arrives. When you choose Carrier, by the way, you're investing in a system that keeps your home comfortable and saves you cash as well. Check out their website. It's callimsp.com. You can go old school. They'll be glad to hear from you. Give them a jingle. 651-615-4292, ringy dingy dingy. They'll pick it up and they'll say, we'll be right there to learn about their services and Carrier products. That's right, old school, nothing wrong with picking up that phone.
Let's do a lap or two of statements here on this Mackey and Judd episode. Statements.
I'll give you one in the baseball world involving the Emmanuel Clase, Luis Ortiz pitching rigging thing that's going on here. I saw, and this kind of was happening like in the middle of the Vikings game. A lot of information came out about this on Sunday. So obviously Clase and Ortiz were charged with fraud, conspiracy, and bribery stemming from an alleged scheme to rig the individual pitches. It led to gamblers winning hundreds of thousands of dollars. Baseball has now come out and has now like limited the amount of money you can bet on first pitches going forward. I believe it's now to just $200. And my statement is, and I'll get to it here in just a sec, but when I saw the tweets and the maximum sentencing that could come out for these guys. So Clase and Ortiz each could face up to 20 years in prison for wire fraud conspiracy, 20 years for honest service wire fraud conspiracy, 20 years for money laundering conspiracy, and 5 years for conspiracy to influence sports events by bribery, according to prosecutors. You add that all up, they could face up to 65 years in prison for their involvement in this. Now, I am in the camp that these two dudes should never be allowed to step on a baseball field ever again. I'm in the camp of they should be fined and held accountable and face punishment for what they've done. But when I see the number of 65 years in prison for throwing baseballs and rigging it, I understand that. That seems a little extreme to me. That's my statement. Wow. I personally think of all the things that go on in this world and that people that do really actually bad things, not that this is not bad, the fact that they could face up to 65 years in prison for something like this, to me, is a little extreme. I think it's a little bit of an extreme sentence. And will they probably end up having to get the maximum sentence? It's probably unlikely, right? Like they have to, say the maximum term. And I think there's sometimes, jargon with lawyers and us civil, regular human beings that probably goes over our head. But I think 65 years, if they were convicted on all these crimes, is maybe one of the more extreme punishments I've ever seen.
That's just all of those. That's the penalty for all of those things put together.
Right.
You're right. They'll get some time. But here's what I'd be really concerned about if I'm baseball. You know how you really reduce your time served? You sing like a canary, baby. You start to give people up. And if they know anybody else, well, First of all, the mobsters that are involved could kill them. That's a problem for them.
Yeah.
But furthermore, if they know about more, like Class A evidently got Ortiz involved, but like if they got other guys involved in this, or they know, I would be, if I'm baseball, I am holding my breath, because baseball's done a pretty good job of dodging this. Like Class A, who is a great closer, just sort of disappeared. His locker was taken out, and I feel like 15 years ago, it would have been a huge story, and it felt like it blew over really quickly. But if there's a larger chain here of players, whoo, if I'm baseball, I don't want none of that.
Did I see that in terms of the risk versus the reward, that it was like $5,000 reward for Class A per rigged pitch?
Right.
And it may have been, I don't know how many it was, but it was not like anywhere near the amount of money that he makes.
No, hell no.
Playing baseball, right? It was like for a few $1,000s here and there.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
Here's my theory. He's involved in something else, gambling wise or something, and he did this to work off that.
Okay.
Because like it makes no sense. But
did you see the part of the story where apparently one of the pitches that he threw didn't quite miss the plate enough, and a hitter like swung and put it in play, or swung and missed for a strike? It wasn't a ball. And one of the mobsters sent him a text of like someone hanging or something.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he cost someone like a lot of money betting on that pitch.
Wow, no, but it feels like there's got to be something more that they were doing this is to help their cause.
Yeah. The other crazy, this is a different gambling scandal, but Terry Rozier was one of the NBA players that got scooped up for also potentially rigging prop bets during games. In some of the highlights of him the last few years, where he's just like throwing a ball out of bounds or whatever, it's just very obvious.
Yes.
And he got picked up as part of it was like Chauncey Billups, but there was all these things behind the curtain that are kind of maybe at play together. Well, there's a conspiracy theory out there. So Terry Rozier played for the Miami Heat the last couple years. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Eric Spoelstra, the coach of the Miami Heat, his house burnt down like 5 days ago. And there is a conspiracy theory out there that the timing of this is interesting. Did Eric Spoelstra blow a whistle or give information about Rozier or something? And this is a clapback by the mobsters. This is the deep corners of NBA gambling conspiratorial Reddit and Twitter that I'm referencing here. But scary situation. And it feels like there's a lot going on behind the scenes in the sports gambling world here that is running amok.
How many multi-part documentary series is Netflix developing right now off of all of this stuff?
Oh yeah, they got a bunch of different homes they could put this in Netflix. They've got they already did one on what's his name, the disgraced referee from like 30 years ago,
Tim Donaghy.
Tim Donaghy, yeah.
Whatever that was name.
They did one on that guy.
Yeah, but I'm just saying now it's like guys, active players, and I did see that. I believe the prop bet people came back yesterday and put a cap on a missed pitch. Yeah,
$200.
Because
Dex mentioned that. Yeah. Thanks for paying attention.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's
sorry.
okay. I do it all the time.
I missed that. Sorry. My bad. You see, here's the thing: you take responsibility, and by the way, I will adjust. So like I won't throw the ball deep to Jefferson next time. Okay. I will listen better. See, it's not that hard to do. You say you're wrong.
We'll see about that Wednesday press conference this week.
I was wrong. Sorry, Dex. Great point.
We aren't doing a flagrant howls today. We will do one tomorrow with our hottest Wolves takes. But I want to sneak a quick little Wolves take in here. After they did what they needed to, they fended off a competitive and no quit Jazz team last night that wouldn't go away, and they improved to 7-4. They're beating all these bad teams, but Julius Randle again was incredible. Julius Randle is averaging right now, it's 11 games, so it might regress, but this is the highest scoring average of his career, 25.5 points a game. The highest assist total, 6.5 assists per game. He's been efficient. He's been a playmaker, and Dante DiVincenzo as well. So my statement here is that trade continues to age like a fine bottle of wine, boys. you got this version of Julius Randle for like $20 million less per year than Karl Anthony Towns is making, maybe $25 million.
Yep.
And I get Dante DiVincenzo as part of it, bombing threes and making plays all over the place. Unbelievable trade once again, a year later by Tim Connelly. Bravo.
And Dante in particular making NBA peanuts.
Yeah, I mean, both those guys combined are making far less than Karl Anthony Towns. That's the crazy thing.
Yep, it's nuts. Great trade.
Bravo, yes.
Okay, I'm going to do my statement in a special way because I feel that I need to pay homage to the person I'm doing it for. So, guys, forgive me, but you're not going to be able to see my mouth move as I say, I have serious concerns about Pete Maki being retained as the Twins pitching coach, given the fact that ordinarily,
do the whole thing like this.
Ordinarily a new manager gets to hire his own pitching coach, and you know, I just don't know if Whispering Pete being kept is in the best interest of the Twins organization.
So you wanted them to nuke. Here's the problem, though. Falvey clearly didn't. Falvey doesn't think there's much wrong with. I think Falvey thinks that the players are all just like failing.
That's not the problem. You're right.
And so the thought of Falvey having to hire an entirely new coaching staff or tell Shelton to hire it, because all of these have to be Falvey approved. It's not like Shelton goes and hires all the coaches he wants to, right?
You're correct. You're preaching to the choir. I agree completely with what you're saying. Yes.
So he's like, all right,
10-4, good buddy, over and out.
Let's overhaul the development and the hitting side of things and the third base coach, but we can't overhaul everything. Let's keep the pitching stuff intact, right? That's the logic here.
Yes.
All right.
But
their pitching has not been. Their pitching outside of trading all their good relievers has actually not been a total disaster. Bailey Ober, I don't know if it's more injury or what, but
I was hoping, but I'm not delusional. I knew that this might happen. I was hoping that it felt like, okay, Derek Shelton is resetting things, and I think he's being allowed to reset the things that Falvey is approving. So yes, you're right. I just don't love it.
I would honestly have, and this still might be the case because we don't know, but I have a much bigger want for them to overhaul their hitting and their approaches with coaches like that more than I do Pete. Again, like, could the Twins be better off, and would Shelton be better off with just getting his own dude? Probably, maybe. I don't even know if I can say probably, maybe, because it's coaches. But when a collection of the hitters are coming forward saying we want answers and we want to figure out what's going on, and everyone's just giving a shrug emoji, and in general, as much as I know the Twins nuked their bullpen, and by the way, bringing in LaTroy Hawkins, nice little addition there as the bullpen coach. I like that a lot. I'd much rather them overhaul their hitting philosophy and people than Pete Maki necessarily.
Yeah, I was looking for more changes, but Phil's right. I'm not going to get them, and they're convinced. I'm becoming more and more convinced by the day that Derek Shelton was hired because the team knows that the fans hate them, and he's a likable guy. And
it definitely played into it.
He's going to be a likable guy. He's going to go out on the banquet circuit. He's going to, and by the way, I'm fine with that, but it feels like, and we've talked about this, that Derek Falvey is still going to run the baseball operation like he sees fit. And somebody basically said, okay, we at least need a guy who's likable. And Baldelli was a nice guy. So it's a weird thing. Rocco is not a bad guy at all, but he clearly didn't like the public stuff as much. I think Shelty will do a good job. Does that fix the problem? Absolutely, positively not.
Yeah, I think I'm here to give Shelty a chance as a manager. He is the biggest change, and it's not all on him to turn this whole thing around, but it's kind of being set up that way in some ways. So that's going to be interesting. But when he was here as a right-hand man assistant for Molitor, and then he made the carryover into the first year of Rocco, you know, that was the best. 2019 was the best year of Twins baseball outside of the playoff series win, but like regular season wins and success of the Derek Falvey and Rocco Baldelli era. And at the time, Derek Shelton was regarded as this like really high level baseball man, coach, and liaison between analytics and like old school, new school.
Sure.
And if the main thing that damages his credibility is, oh, he didn't win in Pittsburgh, well, get in a long line of other managers that couldn't win with a 42-cent payroll and like two good players on the roster. So I'm here to give Shelty a chance, but I still reserve a lot of judgment for the other bad parts of the organization.
That's the issue. I think Derek Shelton deserves a chance, but telling Derek Shelton who certain coaches are going to be does not provide as much of a chance as I would like. I don't trust. It's the people around Shelty I don't trust.
No. Well, we'll see. We'll see what they see who's waving him. Do we know who the new third base coach is going to be?
No.
Who's waving him home yet?
No,
Yeah,
and
I
love Dex's theory, and I actually saw an Atlanta-based media personality tweet about this, that the Watkins thing is to try to set up another go at Byron Buxton. I love that theory.
Yeah, it's pretty smart.
Go home to Baxley?
Well, he's got the full. That's all on him, right? I mean, even if he decided to waive the no trade clause, the Twins could decide not to trade him. But yeah, if you're Buxton and it's another year of just kind of toiling, and you're healthy and playing your ass off,
I'd get out.
Don't have a Mike Trout situation brewing here. Hot take police coming in hot here. Yeah.
It's Buxton. He's leaving town. He
Well,
got in the cop car. He's driving. He's the police.
Yeah, there's been a lot of hot take cops around here apparently the last week or so. All right, that's Mackey and Judd, your stud stable, and some statements here on the OG Score North podcast. We'll see you guys for some Write That Down predictions on
See you
tomorrow.
later.
Thanks, Pete.
See ya. Bye.
Basketball.